streaming. I'm a start streaming. I'm a star. I'm uh, uh, start. Uh, I'm streaming. Oh, I gotta open up stuff. I'm a star streaming. Let's see if it looks okay. Ow. Grapes. Oh, here nothing. There I am. Okay. Chicka-cha, chicka-chicka-cha. That's the problem. I can't hear. I can't. No. And I gotta figure something out. Anyway. That's how it goes, right? There he is. There's the boy. Whoa. Whoa. That was kind of loud a little bit. Whoa. That's really loud. Let me turn that down a little bit. Just a little bit. Turn it down just a little. Okay. That's better. Although the quality is a little less than desirable. But you know what? That's what. I am inside Matt Lauer's quiet life 1 year after firing. It's been a year already. That's crazy. Doesn't feel like it's been a year. I am streaming. Oh, I gotta stream on all games. Hold on. Where's my butt? Where's my butt? There's my butt. There's my butt. There's my butt. Hold it, y'all. Excuse me. Last live of 2018 Bilaches. I know I didn't put a space between last and live. You know what? Doesn't really matter. Doesn't. I'll just play. Doesn't really matter at all. All. Did it work? Let's see. Let's go to the videotape. Let's go to all games. See if the voice is coming through. I do this every week. This is just the pre-show, but I'm late. Who knows? My ears used to be really good. Oh, there it is. There I am. Sounds good. That's some good old quality audio. I will say that. Merry holidays. One more day. One more day until the end of the entire year. This is just today's 30th, tomorrow's 31st. My in-laws are in town. We just came from the magical botanical garden, Mounts Botanical Garden up here in West Palm Beach, and it's just what they do is they have Christmas lights in their garden, in their botanical garden, and excuse me, it's $10 to get in per person, and I was like, okay, that's cool. I mean, it's like a donation just to keep the place going. There's a lot of people there. I was like, okay, maybe they'll do something like really cool. It was all right. I was like, it's better to go when it's off season and it's just the actual garden, because if you go at night, you don't see the actual garden. You just see a whole bunch of lights that are like, oh, that's I mean, I'm sure it takes some money to put it together, but it's like, it ain't the best. Anyway, today's show is about the year in review. No, it's not. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to go back and, remember when the Philip Mabushin went and did IGN? I'm not going to do all that. You know why? Because that's a lot of work. My brain doesn't hold that much information at one time. And I want to talk about 2.5 things. Maybe 3. I want to talk about a couch. I want to talk about a game. And there was something else. There was something else. I want to talk, there's 3.5. And I want to talk about how I'm going to be off for a month. That's going to be great. Where am I? And I'm going to talk about, let's see. His story. No favorites. So it was, no, guess it wasn't. I thought I'd put something that I wanted to see. Because it usually puts it on, I guess it doesn't do that because I just looked that up today and it's not in the right order. Gosh darn it. Let's see. Hurry show. Nope. Anyway. Clip. You heard that? So, couch. Let's talk about the couch first. A while ago, Bridget bought a couch with my money. So, with our money. Bridget bought a couch. I was at work. She sent me a picture. Look at this couch. I was like, how much is it? She's like, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, that's too. It was like $500. I was like, that's a lot of money, yo. And she was like, ah. Then I said, you know what? Do whatever you want to do. Just do it. And then, gotta wait a couple days for them to deliver it. I already talked about the store. But I realized, and I told her this, I was like, look, most of us here in All Games and the Discord are not super rich. Some of us have more money, some of us less money. I'll have a, so, whatever. Middle class, higher middle class, whatever, low class, broke as hell. We're all over the board. Well, it's the spectrum of financial statuses. This couch not opened my eyes, but reminded me of luxury. Because a couch like this is usually about around $3,000 or so, right? I mean, it's just a couch. $3,000 for a couch. I could buy a car for $3,000. People buy couches for $3,000. This couch got automatic. I was like, in the headrest, like poop. Then you open up the center, and then there's lights and plugs and stuff. I was like, dang, son, we got a rich people's couch, Bridget. What's going on here? We got a good deal. It's nice leather. It's nice supple leather. So good. But I know I probably said that before. I don't remember things. But that was good. I just wanted to say that again. We have a rich people's couch. Cars are hot garbage. A mess. You come to my house, though, you be like, yo, y'all got money or something? I'm like, nah, man. We just know people. Which is true. I do know some people. Although they didn't hook me up with the couch. I don't think. Yeah, that's right. Anyway, Red Dead Redemption. So I've been listening to the Giant Bomb Game of the Year celebration, whatever they call it. I forgot what they call it, but it's the deliberation, and then it's the deliberation. They deliberate. It's like 5. It's a lot of hours. The last 2 podcasts. I think there's another one after the 2 5-hour plus podcasts. So the other ones are like 2.5 hours, 2.5 hours, 2.5 hours, then 5.5 hours, and then 5. A lot of hours. of podcasting. And where I ended off listening to them, because I used to have my 40-inch TV here, and I took it out of here because it was too much room. So right now I'm in the process of transforming it into a hanging wall unit, so I can hang it back there. I'm gonna put a nice white cover on the front of it and try to hook up some lights and stuff. Trying to wire it up right now for the lights, and so it'll be more of a kind of just a display in the back, not anything too functional, because it's not really that functional because the backlight broke on it, and I was like, you know what, I'm not going through trying to fix this and whatever. Anyway, so I was fixing the TV, reconfiguring the TV, reconfigurizing the TV. Wait, what did I say before? Figure eight? No, it doesn't matter. And I was listening to them, and they were talking about the Red Dead, and they were like, oh, about this part in the story and that part. I already know what happens to Arthur Morgan at the end. I was like, oh man. And then I realized the mission that I had heard what happens to him at the end, right? I got spoiled on that. And then I played the mission where it starts. And I was like, oh, okay. And then, like, there's consequences. Like, if you go back to the people in that same mission, the survivors, if you will, then it's like this person's, the wife is this. And I was like, oh, man, it's so crazy how detailed and how interconnected, like, all the characters are in that game. Characters you don't even think, like, oh, that's just that crazy couple's kid that lived out on the mountain. And you figure, it's some crazy stuff happening. And then there's some other super crazy stuff in there. I was like, oh. And so I've been spoiled on, like, most of the game. Still want to play it. You got a good game when you're like, oh, I know the ending. It's, like, super heavy in story. It's, Red Dead's best, besides the open world feeling alive, the best part of Red Dead is the story, the interactions between the characters. So I know about the bad characters in the camp. I know about I know how Arthur ends up. I know the prologue. I know all that stuff. The epilogue, whatever. I'm like, but I still want to play it. I still want to get to those parts. I still want to experience it. So, yeah, that's a good game. And I did die once by acting dumb. I was on my horse, and I put it on cinematic driving mode, cinematic camera. And the path was like up on a mountain, and there was a cliff side and crazy rocks, and the horse tried to go up the rocks, and of course, yeah, you know what happened. So I fell off and I died. But anyway, yeah, I haven't shot my horse yet. I had gotten that big giant black stallion horse, and I was like, man, I want the big giant horse, right? But I sold it for like $65. I was like, yo, I'm getting paid, son. And then I bought the scrappy horse for like $18. And I called it Floppy. I can't remember what it's Cloppy Bloppy or something. I don't know. Something with Cloppy in it. Might be Floppy Cloppy. And so I got Floppy Cloppy, and we flopping and clopping around. And I was like, dang, man, this horse is mad small. So I went back to my original horse, Western. I forgot what it was called. And that horse is a little bigger. So I was like, yeah, let me level up this horse right here. Because that little floppy cloppy, I mean, you my dog, but you're a little too small, yo. I can't. In All Games chat, they're talking about football, I guess. Because footballs happen. So Red Dead's good. I mean, I've been listening to Giant Bomb all week, and the more I listen to it, the more I realize that, what's his name, Dan Reichert, is the exact opposite of anything that because he was like, what did he say? What was he talking about Red Dead, or he was talking about something else? Oh, man, what game was it? Trying to remember. It might have been Red Dead. I'm not sure, but he's like, oh, it's like the controls are bad and it's so boring. It was Red Dead. He was like, oh, it's so boring. I hate this game. Blah blah. I just want to get to the shooting. And I'm like, part of the experience is, going slow through the countryside. enjoying the world that they built and spent however many years building. You know, that's the whole point. You know, and so I was like, just put on a cinematic mode and take a break. Go get a sandwich or something. You know what I mean? At least it's not like loading. It's just like you're just traveling. It's kind of cool. But every time he starts talking about a game, he's like, "Oh, it's not enough action. It's so boring. It's this and that, and I hate it." I'm like, "Oh." So I feel the exact opposite. Every game doesn't have to be just a dumb ass arcade game. There are games like that, and I'm sure you like them. I guess that's why you like Metal Gear so much, because it's so dumb. Dan Reichert. So dumb. I do not like Metal Gear. I'm like, okay, this Japan, I can appreciate the quirk and the quirkiness, but nah, son. I left that quirk back with Shenmue. Shenmue 2, that was the last time I experienced the quirk. I was like, all right, I think I'm done with this right here. I think that was it. I was like, no more. Shenmue, you broke my heart. And now Shenmue 3 is going to be a hot mess. I mean, they were talking about hot messes, and they were like, oh, man, Fallout 76, hottest mess on the planet. I don't even need these. Hottest mess on the planet. And I was like, yep, pretty much. And they talked about Sony, the crossplay stuff, where it's like, oh, we don't want to do crossplay. Oh, we don't want to have all the child molesters to finding the children on the PlayStation Network because we were trying to protect the kids. I'm like, what the man? You know what? Phil Spencer's such a nice guy that I think he didn't handle that. I mean, he handled it right, okay? But someone in his position, or someone high up like a Phil Spencer, needs to call out Sony on their bullshit. Like a lot of little YouTubers. I'm the littlest YouTuber, by the way. Probably not, but no, I know I am, but whatever. And I don't even consider myself a YouTuber. I just stream and just whatever. I don't even change it. Anyway, if Phil Spencer was like one of those guys that would be like, yo, I'm calling you out, Sony. You're full of shite. Of course, he's not going to say those things, but I'm saying, he was diplomatic in how he said that, and he was like, I'm disappointed, or whatever he said. That's really bad. It's a shame that Sony would say things this like that about no. And he did it like the PC way, basically. But of course, in the world we live in right now, going into 2019, that the PC doesn't really, not PC, personal computer, PC, politically correct, isn't as important as it used to be, because our president is a crazy person. So a crazy person, flip that around, CP, PC. Crazy person doesn't abide to the rules of political correctness, CP, PC. So, I mean, I appreciate it, and I think that the trajectory of how Phil is kind of guiding the Xbox peoples, the Xbox clan, whatever, is cool, is good. But there still needs to be someone out there who's smacking Sony like in the back of their head, like, BAP, what are you doing? PlayStation Classic, what the hell is this? But you know what? I don't think that Phil Spencer or Reggie or anybody like that needs to do that to Sony. Sony's doing it to himself, because that thing is selling like hot garbage. And you know how well hot garbage sells. Hot garbage sells a little bit because people have a morbid curiosity of how hot garbage is this, and I need to make me a video about this on my YouTube channel. That's all the sales for the PlayStation Classic was for YouTube personalities to make a video about how hot garbage this little thing is. And I was like, man. And it's like, I'm like, yo, I don't think Giant Bomb put the PlayStation Classic as hot as mess, but they should have, because that's the easiest thing to do. It's like, yo, Sony, just make a little mini console. Doesn't have to be powerful. They made their own board. It's not like they went and they got some third party board off the shelf. You know, they didn't put a Raspberry Pi in there and just put their stuff. No, they manufactured a PCB, put their chips on it, and then put a open source emulator on it, and it's hot garbage. And I'm like, how do you do most of the work and then trip up right at the end? Like I said before, I made the analogy, or metaphor, not analogy. I made the metaphor of, hey, Sony is the dude that's running the marathon, and he's like 20 feet from the finish line. No. Bike, Tour de France or whatever. Riding the bike 20 feet from the finish line. Put a hand, I won, and then second and third place, zoom right past him, right past him. Ooh, pop it, right past him. That's what Sony is, because they messed up. I mean, the easiest thing they could have done, the most simple. It's like it's not like you have to remake these. The games are made, you own them. Make something that can play these games. There are a billion of them out there. You just have to do. If you can't make your own proprietary, let's just say that, little mini PlayStation that can play the games you already own, how good are you? Like, how, honestly, like, wait a second. If you're like a person who doesn't know anything, right? And you're like, yo, Nintendo made this little mini Nintendo console, and it's crazy nice. It's like Nintendo, but it's better because the graphics are crispier, and you can do the same thing. And it's really good if you like Nintendo, yeah, and the Super Nintendo too, right? And then you look at the Sony PlayStation Classic, and you're like, ooh, that's not as good as the Nintendo one. And that's the thing. Like, if they took this approach and did it with the PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, I think it will still be bad because it's the implementation. I mean, the game selection wasn't that great, but it's like the performance of these games is like, look, it's 2019 for all intents and purposes. It's 2019. How can you not make these games run butter smooth and look the best they could possibly look? That's the thing that's like blowing my mind. So it's like hottest mess. Yeah, Bethesda wins it, of course, hands down. Because that whole Fallout 76, man. I'm watching YouTube, right? And Young, yeah, he's one of the dudes I watch. And he's like, he has all of this ambient, because it's like, yo, as long as Bethesda's messing up, and as long as Cyberpunk 2077 has some news, he's good. Because he'll do videos about them till the sun goes up and then goes down and goes up again. You know what I mean? Hajiro's in Twitch chat. What's up, Kajido? Merry Christmas, Happy New Year for when I don't see you or talk to you, because it's going to be New Year next time I say it. I'm going to say it next time too, though. Sony had the kid audience. The kids don't care about old PlayStation stuff. Wait, what? That doesn't make... You mean for the... So Sony has the kid audience for PlayStation 4, like right now, and they don't care about the classic. I mean, I see what you're saying, but you can say the same thing about the NES and the Super NES classic mini, but those sold way more. Thank you, he says. Kaiju says, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, pal. Pal. That's why the PlayStation Classic is whack, because they had all those games in PAL. That's okay. But yeah. But, you know, honestly, I don't think it was that. I think they just made a poor product. And I'm like, I saw this dude take it apart, right? And I'm like, yo, that looks like a little PlayStation 4 board. Because, like, if you look at the PlayStation motherboard, PCB, motherboard, it's like a computer. If you look at it, right, it's a certain like color with the gold and the traces and stuff. I'm like, yeah, that looks. And you look at the PlayStation Mini, it looks like, yeah, Sony made that. So that's why I was like looking. I was like, yeah, Sony made that. And it's not a small like little. It's bigger than a pie. It's like about 3 pies, or not 3 pies. It's about 2 pies, I guess. It's like a little L. I was like, oh, that's all right, you know. And they put all this work into a custom board for this PlayStation Classic, and blue, you know. So that was kind of like. I mean, if anything would be like, oh man, I mean, I have an original PlayStation. It's pristine. I got so lucky getting that PlayStation. But I wouldn't mind having a little mini PlayStation if the games were super dope fly, which let's be honest, those games in that first generation of 3D were not the best, you know what I mean? So across the board, I'm not even talking about Sony. I'm just like the freaking Saturn games were like, woof. Oh, N64 was like, that was like the most powerful freaking thing. And it was cartridges. Go figure. So, but that, there's reasons because of that. Reasons for that. Anyway. Yeah. So, PlayStation, yeah. I'm trying to think, like, from here, where do you go from, like, when Nintendo did the NES Classic, people were like, yo, boom, boom, they can't find any. Oh, I got to get one. Scalpers are on eBay selling it for quadruple times the price, right? It's a smash hit. Forget about it. They're making money. Just recycling. But it's like a super nostalgia box because it's like, yo, it's like a little NES. And the games are actually, they perform pretty good. I mean, I think there were some problems with some things, but nothing like what the PlayStation, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, Nintendo, what they did is say, okay, we did NES. Let's do the Super NES. They did that. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Right? And then now that's done. They cut those off. But I'm just saying, they were like, yeah. There was a trajectory. Like, okay, sorry. There was, boom, NES was good. Boom, boom, boom. Super NES. That was pretty good, too. Are they going to do N64? Who knows? Who knows? But Sony, PlayStation Classic, kind of hot garbage. So do they just skip ahead and go, you know what, let's do PlayStation 2 Classic? And then actually course correct, actually make it good, actually put dope games on there? That would be a good look. That would be something that could redeem them in this mini console war. It's literally a mini console war. Wow. I'm glad that I hope that Microsoft doesn't. You know what I think Microsoft is doing? This is what Microsoft is doing. They're going to put out the streaming box, the streaming box, and it's kind of like the stream box and the box without a disk drive. So it's kind of like the stream box is the cheaper version. It would be, I guess, considered it's not a classic or a mini. It's just, the cheapest version of an Xbox, but it's all streaming, which is whatever. And then the one without a disk drive is the closest thing to that, but I don't know how much that's going to cost. An Xbox without a disk drive would be what, $149? No, if they do that, right, they do an Xbox One S without a disk drive, charge $149, $150. I'd probably say it'll probably be $200. The X Stream box, whatever they call it, X Cloud box, whatever is naming conventions. So if the diskless box is $200, $199 MSRP, of course they knock down $50 for super deal, blah blah blah, right? Then the stream box is $149 MSRP. That's high though, but Microsoft does sometimes they charge premium most of the time. So I would say $149 probably. It would surprise me if it's $99. If it's $99, if it's just a stream box, it should just be $99, right? And then it's like, I can either get an Xbox One S stream box or a PlayStation Classic. And then I guess, what would it be? You can get a year of xCloud streaming games, or as a part of Game Pass. Maybe they do something like that. If you buy Game Pass, you can stream the games or download them. See, that's the thing. If the stream box has the ability to have storage, like you can plug in a USB, a hard drive, then hold up, that changes everything, right? Then that means your little stream box has, you can put whatever, 3-4 terabyte, 1 terabyte. It doesn't have to be a lot. And you say it's a stream box, but you have Game Pass, right? Right? You can use the stream box. Say the stream box is $99. You can get a freaking hard drive for like $40-$50. and just get Game Pass. You have a Game Pass box basically. Hmm. So that's what I'm trying. I'm confused because I'm not sure exact. Because like we have a kind of a pre notion, not a pre notion. I had another word, but I can't remember. But we have kind of a pre visual of what stream box or streaming sticks or all these things are, right? Apple TV, PlayStation TV, which didn't work. We have kind of an idea of what these are, right? But what Microsoft is talking about with this Xbox xCloud streaming thing, it's different because it has more processing in it, like more hardware and stuff. And I'm like, all right, but what does that mean? What's in it exactly? Is it an actual Xbox One S? It can't be. It has to be. It has to be less than that. So is it like a surf? I'm trying to think. Like, what if it's not an S, right? Because that would just make it a diskless Xbox One S, right? So it would have to be, I don't know, something else. I'm not sure. But yeah, I'm super curious as for the stream. But I mean, the Extreme box might fail. Who knows? I don't think what Streambox has not failed. That is just for video games, like the PlayStation TV. Boom, they just like left that out to die. Ouya and all those other ones. Those whatever. The Switch is not just that. It's doing streaming now, but it's a full console, so that doesn't count. All these games can stream. All these systems now can stream. So how much can you take out of a fully fledged system or a fully capable system to bring it down to just streaming? And how much does that cost? What does that look like? So it's kind of interesting the two approaches. Like Microsoft's doing three consoles. Somebody said 4, and I'm like, wait a second, that's not stream. It is 4. Oh snap! Okay, the stream box, the Xbox One S without the disc, the low end next gen, and the super, the Anaconda, whatever they call it. The Lockhart and the Anaconda. these names. So I'm like, okay. So I mean, the stream and the S and the discless S, those are like experiments to try to see if they can get that to work. If they can get all these consoles to work together, like if I have the stream box and I have the X, or the Xaconda, whatever they're gonna call it, and they kind of like if you're on the stream box, yeah, you can play the games, but it kind of sucks. It's it's low quality stream, whatever. But then you go to the Xaconda, and it's like boom, for the people who want their eyes to bleed. And it's all the same. You could play all those games across, which they have done so far. Like if you go to one Xbox, you go to another Xbox, syncing game, takes a couple of seconds, boom, you're in the game. That's one thing the PlayStation cannot do. Well, yeah, I'll take that back. One thing the PlayStation does not do. It sucks at cloud game save management. I've heard, I don't have any firsthand experience, anecdotally speaking. I've heard people say it time and time again. If I go from this PlayStation to another PlayStation, I have to go and manually find a save, and I'm like, what? It just doesn't, like on you're on Xbox, it goes syncing data, boom, done. It's like you never left. I'm like, this is what I'm talking about, And then then you wonder. I don't wonder, but some people wonder how's PlayStation number 1 when there's so many little things that are like kind of wrong. And what it is it's messaging. It's like perception, and I was Christmas at my mom's, right? And I got like a billion little cousins, and they were all in the room, all the little boy cousins in the rooms talking whatever, Xbox, display. There's one dude Xbox, everybody else PlayStation, all PlayStation, like, oh, we're PlayStation. I'm like, I asked my cousin. He's my second cousin. I was like, oh, you PlayStation dude? Like, yeah, PlayStation. I was like, why? Why is PlayStation better than Xbox? And he said, because. I was like, oh, that's it? Just because? He had no, he could not articulate the reason why, which means, which tells me that it's all about popularity and less about actual merit and actual points of, hey, this is better than this is better than and then we've gone through the list of why Xbox is better than PlayStation, why PlayStation is better than Xbox, blah blah blah, right? If you do it list to list, Xbox wins as far as number of things that are better than on the PlayStation side, but the perception is that I'm talking about just numbers as far as how many different things are better on the Xbox side than the PlayStation has. We sold more units and exclusive games are better or whatever. I think something like that, right? VR, VR too. VR as well. I'm gonna talk about that in a few too. So that's but Xbox has a little bit more as far as the infrastructure is better, Game Pass is killing it, more powerful console, and it's got to be something else. I just can't think of it. So, or maybe it's just tied like that. Oh, backwards compatibility. There you go. Boom, I got you. Anyway, so speaking about VR, I was thinking about this. I've been thinking about this for a while, and I keep forgetting to talk about it. Or maybe I have talked about it, and I just forget because I'm stupid. So PlayStation VR is kind of cool. I mean, VR in general is cool. New Shunter, hello, thanks for showing up. Hey, how you doing? I appreciate you hanging out, hanging in, coming through, if it were. Anyway, talking about PlayStation VR. So VR, right? VR is dope. They tried it in the 90s. It was kind of hot garbage. Wasn't ready. Right now, it's way better. Still not the best. PlayStation VR is the worst of VR, but it's bringing a mainstream price and it's bringing pretty good experiences. So the fact that it's kind of whack isn't as important as what it's doing for VR in the video game industry. That being said, Sony put themselves in a bad situation because PlayStation VR came out, what was it, $499, $399, something like $3. I think it was $399, right? It's like, okay, that's too expensive for the most hot garbage VR, right? Now it's $199. Now, how can you take off $200 off of the price? You can't tell me that, oh, it's cheaper to build now. It's not $200 cheaper. So either they're losing money on each headset, or they were charging way too much for each headset back when it was coming out. They saw Oculus and Vive, and they was like, yo, those things are like $1,000. I know ours ain't as good, but we could get a few more bucks than this thing is worth. I think that's what happened. New Shunter, thank you. Have fun. Thank you. Had you too. And what you do. I'm trying. But yeah, thanks. Thank you for showing up. Preach. That's from the 10-minute podcast, but they don't do a show anymore. Sad. Will Sasso come back. Anyway, so that whatever. VR is now $200. PSVR is $200. Comes with like 2 dope games. It's a pretty good deal if you want to experiment with VR. VR is still niche. VR is still not everybody got one of these, yo. It's not like that yet. And I don't think it'll ever be like that because the limitations of VR as it is, as far as it's a big bulky unit, that's a limitation. Another limitation are the wires, but that may be fixed soon. We'll get into that. And it's just it's a singular experience. It's like, I know a lot of people play games by themselves, yeah, but say if you want to play couch co-op in a VR game, how do you do that? You have to have 2 headsets. How's that gonna work? How's that gonna work with PSVR? It doesn't work. That's how it's gonna work. It's not gonna work. So, oh, you're in a hospital. Oh, I hope everything's okay. I hope everything turns out okay. Is that a Yes. No. Yeah. No. Well, yeah. You can do it. As far as being in a hospital. Hospitals. Bridget doesn't like hospitals because she's how do you say it? She's a clean freak. So I think she like pictures all little kind of just invisible all over the place. I'm like, don't worry about it, yo, you be alright. XD, where are you? Oh, XD. I am, well, right now I live in Florida. Florida. Well, I'm from New York, so that's why I sound like that. Sound like this. Yeah, so I got a New York flavor, but I'm down here, whatever. Anyway, you're distracting me, new shunter. How dare you? VR. I remember. So VR is, so PlayStation VR is $200. Everybody's buying one. A lot of people are getting it now, right? On the horizon, on the very soon to be the horizon coming soon, is PlayStation 5. And the rumors are that the PlayStation 5 will have a PSVR version 2 with a different tracking system. And rumors, remember, the PSVR version 1 will not be compatible with the PlayStation 5. If that's the case, oh snap. If that's the case, that's messed up. You know, Kaijiro says still $399 bundled. $199 was just for the headset alone. It's always been that. It has not always been $199, Kaijiro. You're out of your mind. No way. The VR, the PSVR is $199 with 2 games, Astrobot and the other good game, Moss. So that's why it's pretty good. VR is not a single player experience. There are many multiplayer games, and you have 2 couch co-op games for it so far. How do you play couch co-op in VR with 2 headsets? How can the PlayStation 4 or whatever Pro handle? Oh, you're good. Oh, your staff. Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, keep your head up, said Tupac one time on a song. Yeah, just I mean, it's the last day before the last day. It's New Year's Eve, if you will. You know, just enjoy the ride. That's them. $4.99 is still. I thought I could have swore maybe that was just a holiday deal sale. The bundle with the oh, thank you. New Shunter gave me 20,000 buzzergisms. Sparkies, is that what they're called? Bolties? I don't even know. But I appreciate. I definitely appreciate. I don't even keep track of that stuff. Like, it's like so weird with those little skills and stuff. It's crazy. I appreciate that. Oh man, Mixer is such a goofy place with all the little choo. Man, I wish you know what? It might have had a sound effect. I don't even know if it does, because I don't have the sound up, and I can't hear anything because of the way my audio sounds. Sorry. But yeah, okay. So let's get into VR. All right. So VR, actually, if PlayStation VR launched at $199, this would not be a discussion. I'd be like, yo, everybody's gonna get it. It's kind of cheap. You know what I mean? I mean, $199 in the grand scheme of things as a peripheral, and it came with like a game. I mean, it took until now. When did VR come out? Like 2 years ago? It took until now for PlayStation VR to get the killer app, which is Astrobot. Some people say, oh, Moss was good, or Resident Evil 7 was no. And the thing is, Moss is the killer app for VR, right? PlayStation VR. At the same time, it's just a platformer. If you took the VR element out of if you took the VR element out of Astrobot Rescue Mission, would it be, oh, this game is so dope, oh my god? And hell no, it wouldn't be. It'd be like, yeah, it's a cool platformer, whatever. There's plenty of other platformers that are way better. See? So the gimmick of VR does help a game like Astrobot. But I'm looking for the definitive Xbox compilation by original. What is that? Oh, come on, man. What is? I don't understand what this is. eBay. So I haven't even gotten to the part where Sony messed up, or Sony didn't mess up. Well, they messed up by not having a cheaper box in the beginning, because if it was like super cheap, and it was like, oh, it would have been the good enough VR. I mean, it kind of was that, but it was still too expensive, right? So they put as they charged as much as they could, and the fact that it's $199 now, it's like, yeah, but not. And that's the thing. I could have swore it was $399. It was $399, and you got a camera, right? So now you just get the headset. But thank you, New Shunter. I will enjoy them. Yum 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 yum. So delicious. So it came with the camera. $399 was with the camera and the Move controllers, right? So you're telling me that a camera and 2 Move controllers is $200? That's what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? Is that, I don't know why I took my glass. Is that what you're saying? I don't think so. Camera's $60. Move controllers, $40 for 2. That's $100. Where'd that extra $100 come from? That's what I'm saying. Too much. Dog barking. So $199 is a good price. And no one needs the Move controllers. All the people out here talking about PSVR, they don't use the Move controllers. They on the controller. That's what that controller's for. That's the deal. The DualShock 4 was made for VR. That's why the lights in the front, that's why. So all these people talking about, oh, this game Astrobot is dope. Guess what? They're not using Move controllers. Guess what? You don't need to spend $400 on the goofy Move controllers. There's also a rumor that the version 2 of the VR will have new Move controllers. So that might be cool. Who knows? New technology is always cool. So what I heard was that the new PlayStation VR inside-out tracking, so you don't need a camera, less money. New Move controllers, or just use the controller, which whatever. So the thing is like, okay, what's the price going to be? Whatever. The point is, people are buying version 1 now. They're buying PSVR now. PSVR version 1 now, because it's $199. What a deal. 2 good games, probably the best game ever made for VR in the bundle. Let me get that real quick. Boom, boom, boom. They're getting mad sales. Now, if the rumors are true, PlayStation VR 2 comes out with the PlayStation 5. I'm saying not bundle, but it comes out at the same time as the launch of PlayStation 5. I don't think a lot of people, some people will bite, of course, like, oh, it's a new, better version of VR and it's on the, right? But then you look at all the people who bought PSVR when it first launched, $400, they feel like, oh, man. Kind of like me. I bought the Xbox One, first launch, $500, and now I got an X, way better. Same price. You know what I'm saying? So is the PSVR, the new one, going to be bundled with 2 of those Move controllers, version 2, and the headset? You don't need a camera for $499, probably. That's what I'm saying. The new VR will be $399, with 2 controllers. Don't need a camera because it's built into the headset. So, and it's going to burn a lot of people who bought the VR now for $199, And maybe not so much because it's only $199. Like, oh, I'll get it again, whatever. But I mean, how many times can you do that? How many times can you be like, proprietary hardware? It should work for the PlayStation 5. It should. It should be like, okay, PlayStation 5 has VR functionality built in, so you don't need the breakout box. So just throw that away. Just plug in your old VR, and it works. Why wouldn't that work? Sony should be able to make that work. And the reason why they wouldn't make that work is because they want to sell version 2. They want to sell more version 2s. They don't want to say, oh, all these people bought VR. Let's just have them use the old sets because they work. That's I'm just saying, if that's kind of what they did this generation. They're like, oh, we don't have backwards compatibility, but here, we'll sell you the game again. I was like, oh, thanks for doing me the favor. Now I get to buy it again. Wow, you're the best. So if you want to look at history to kind of look at the future, as far as Sony's concerned, dang, they're gonna charge you again. Same thing with Nintendo. Maybe it's a Japan thing. Japan. Why did I say it like that? Maybe it's a Japanese thing where they're like, oh man, Let's just make maybe it's part of the culture. Maybe it's just part of the old guard there in those companies. Like, yeah, we're still doing it the way we used to do it, and this is how we're gonna do it forever. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of turnover. There's turnover happening in Sony. There's turnover happening on not so much the Xbox side. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know. Is Aaron Greenberg a good look? Because he's the marketing director, I believe, at Xbox, and it hasn't been bad. Um, yeah, it hasn't been. It hasn't been horrible, but it hasn't been like, oh, that's dope. And I look at the PlayStation stuff, I'm like, okay. And it seems a little disingenuous at times because they're like, oh, 4K, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, okay. You need to put a big ass asterisk right next to that 4K there, son. Because they just say, oh, 4K. They put 4K on the box. I'm like, all right. You could barely put that on you, son of a... But, you know, whatever. Whatever. Let them fool people. Like, oh yeah, it's 4K. Technically, it's 4K. Yeah, sure. I can upscale stuff too. I mean, come on, son. And oh, I was watching a video on YouTube about this artist. His name was something G. Something G. Let me see. I think I have him on my Instagram. He's so dope. He's like a master artist. He is masterful. You know how... Whoa, what happened? What happened, yo? Why am I offline over here? Alright, let me I had to reset my thing here. What's going on? Am I live? I'm offline? I can't be offline. I don't know that I'm offline. I don't know. I'm still streaming, but Twitch says I'm offline. No, I'm still online over here. Twitch be tripping. Sorry, Kaijudo, if you come back. Welcome back. It's been a long... Okay. So let's see. I favorited him, but I don't know where I did with the thing. Sonic Mania Plus for the Genesis. Oh, somebody put the thing on the PlayStation cover. Boo. Why would you get that for PlayStation? Whoa, look at those toys. Where is dude? He's probably not drawing right now. Is there a way to make your feed like just have like different... Can I have different feed? Wow, she doesn't draw. Can I have different feeds for different like just artists and stuff? Because of all these people. I'm looking for. I won't find it. I never. Okay, I have it in my favorites or something. No, that's not it. Golly, this app for Instagram is not the best on the phones, on Windows, the Windows phone, because I still have a Windows phone. Yes, I still have a Windows phone. I actually used it today. We went to like I said, the Mounts Botanical, and I took some video. I used my Steadicam, my what's it called? Smooth Q. I used that. I was testing it out. I was like, oh, it doesn't kind of work a little bit. I know. So it's pretty good. So I might have to use it for some stuff. Although I think I need a better camera, but we'll see. Because this camera's kind of heavy. So if I get a mirrorless camera, I could probably use that on that actual setup. Which is weird. Because I'm like, hold up. I can use... Golly. It sucks. Like the one day I'm trying to find Homeboy. He's a Korean artist, and I can't find, like, I always see a whole bunch. There he is. What's his name? Kim Jung Ji's. Thank you, Kim Jung Ji. Only took me 1,000 years. So Kim Jung Ji was doing like a video presentation, or a video I don't what do you call it? He was just like doing a live drawing session, and it was like a whole bunch of people there, and he just draws with a ink pen basically. And he was like, and it was, I guess it would take like 3 hours, answer questions, draw. I had a translator because he doesn't speak English. But I was like, okay, I kind of like this dude. And he's like, all you gotta do is just draw. Just keep drawing. I'll take a break from actually drawing what I want. And I do some like exercises, or I'll do some studying, whether it's anatomy and blah, 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 animals and such. And then I go back to drawing what I want to draw. And he draws a lot of provocative art, naked women, men and stuff, peepees and chuchos. And I was like, wow, it's really good. I'm like, his stuff is like, it's so good. So yeah, Kim Jung Ji, one of the best artists. They call him a master. I would tend to agree. It's good. I mean, he's good, and it's good. But yeah. Where was I? Wow, I just lost brain cells there. I'm still trying to figure out why Twitch is tripping. Yeah, because Mixer's still going, so it's something with Twitch. But so let's see. So the PlayStation VR. If people go to buy PlayStation 5 and they can't use the PlayStation VR version 1, that sucks, because they wasted money on that if they just bought it now. So they're either not going to buy it right away, or, and also you have to think about backwards compatibility. Now, VR is a whole separate thing, because it's like, oh, if I buy PlayStation VR version 2, I can still play my Astrobot Rescue Mission, right? Or are they going to be Super Astrobot Rescue Mission for the PlayStation 5 VR version 2 and charge you again? That's what I'm saying. Like, how are they going to handle this? A lot of people are assuming that the PlayStation 5 is going to be backwards compatible. You can assume all you want, but if you look at the history, if you look at the behavior patterns of Sony this generation, to me it says this is not going to be backwards compatible. That's what it says to me, because they didn't do it this generation. There is no backwards compatibility option for the PlayStation 4 for previous generations. On the PlayStation 4 right now, that doesn't exist, right? So if they don't do that now, why would they do it next gen? They can do it because they have PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 1 games on the PlayStation Store for you to buy, so the PlayStation 4 can play these games natively. Why don't they just have backwards compatibility, where you throw in the disc from your PlayStation 2, it says, oh snap, that's a PlayStation 2 game, this is the license, boom, grab it from the store, like Xbox does. That's how backwards compatibility works on the Xbox. They make it work on the Xbox. They create a digital version of it, put it on the store. If you have the disc, that means you have the license. That means you own the game. You put it in, it grabs the game. It grabs the ROM, whatever you want to call it, from the store, and boom, you're good. PlayStation could do the same thing. Sony could do the same thing. They do not, because they want to sell you it again. They want to make that money, which is fine. That's a business move, but that's not a good look. Hearts and Minds. Right now, they're in the lead. They're the champion, but they're not Hearts and Minds champion. They're just champion as far as numbers go. So once that is not as important, which is going to be soon, because it's like, oh yeah, we sold this many units. But if you think about it, right, you look at World of Warcraft. How many units of World of Warcraft have been sold? Does Blizzard hell no? All they care about is them subs. Them subs, them reoccurring payments, the forever payments. Not the one time somebody bought something 2 years ago. No. Every month, money coming in from all these people. That's what's more important. That's what makes them more money. That's what, Sony makes more money off of PlayStation PS Plus than they would. Well, you know what? I don't know if they. You know what? They might make more money off of PS Plus than they would unit sales, because there's a lot of money. You know, so the fact that they're still pushing out, oh, unit sales. Who is that for? Is that for the fans? Is that for investors? I know investors know that unit sales are good, but unit sales only enforce the other number, which is how many people are paying into this ecosystem, right? So if you just take the unit sales out and you look at those other numbers, like, oh, wait a second, you know, and then, or if you take those numbers, the unit sales, right, and then you apply them to, as far as the relation to the actual engagement, that's how they say it, or people who are subscribed, you know what I mean, paying money every month, every year, whatever, then that becomes more apparent. It's like, oh, okay, well, even though the PlayStation 4 sold 80 something million, there still is a deficit. There's like 10 million people who aren't paying for PlayStation Plus. I was like, well, wait, how does that work? How do you have more units sold than you have people signed up for this? You know what I mean? Is it like the crazy? They have to, because they need to play online, right? So it's not like, oh, it's just the Call of Duty people. No, they need to buy PS Plus so they can play online. So who is buying PlayStations and not paying for PlayStation Plus? That's the question. It's about 10 million of them out there or so. Multiple million, let's just say that. On the other hand, Xbox, you know, they're maybe close to 50 million, maybe. I would say they probably are close to 50 million. And they have probably over 60 million. They have more Xbox Live people than they do units of Xbox Ones. So that's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes more sense because you have some leftovers from the old, whatever, or maybe you have multiple. No, that doesn't make sense. I guess. Wait, why would that be? I'm not sure why, but it makes more sense that way than it does the other way. As far as money, but it doesn't make more sense. Anyway, the whole VR thing, I'm like, from the rumors that I heard, I'm like, I hope that Sony doesn't fall for the banana in the tailbite, because they're doing, if the rumors are true, they're doing exactly what Microsoft did, and that didn't work out. And now what Microsoft's doing is like, oh, they remembered what they did with the 360. You know, and even though they're like, oh, here's the arcade and here's the elite, and they had different tiers that cost different money, did all the same thing. You could play all the same games. That's what they needed to do when the Xbox One launched. If Xbox One launched with a Connect less version that was $399 and a Connect version which was $499, this, you know, a lot of this wouldn't be a big issue, but all that online, always online stuff, blah, blah, blah. But even though they were right, because always online is a reality, you know what I mean? It was just bad looking, and they said some bad things. You know, it's kind of like what Bethesda's doing now. Bethesda, man, oh man. I'm glad I'm not a Fallout fan, because I'm like, wow, I'd be so mad. Woo. And I just got Red Dead, so I'm just like kind of slowly going through that game, like, yeah, you're a good boy. Yeah, good boy. All right, boy. Here we go, boy. I do a lot of those. Like, I pet him, and then I go and I pet him again. So I'm calling my horse boy a lot. I think he's pretty chocolate too. He's got like vitiligo. He's got some white spots. He's a painted horse. Painted. Anyway, so in conclusion, I'm not sure Sony knows what the magic formula is for PlayStation 5. I'm not sure Sony knows how to beat what Xbox is putting down. Because what Sony didn't do this generation is prepare for next generation. It's kind of like what Xbox didn't do last generation is prepare for this generation. Now, this generation, they're preparing for next generation, which is cool. Even though it should be kind of an ongoing evolution. But Sony, they're just like, yeah, we went in. Oh, we're not gonna. So they're going to be silent for, a whole year, basically. And then they're going to come out, oh, we got this, we got that. It's basically going to be a carbon copy of what Xbox is doing. Oh, yeah, we got a streaming box, too. It's called PlayStation TV. Wait a second. Didn't you have that already? No. Okay, Sony, you the best. And, so they'll have that. Like, oh, yeah, our streaming is better. And what else will they have to buy? Oh, now PlayStation Now is now Play Pass. It's now PlayStation Pass. Play Pass actually sounds pretty good, actually. Play Pass. They should do that. Just to be cheeky. Oh, yeah, this is Play Pass. You can download them, and it does for cheap. Like, do it like 50 cents cheaper than Xbox. Like $9.49, $1 less, $8.99 a month. Like, wait a second, that's cheaper than Game Pass. Oh, snap. Then there's a war. It would be the same price because who's kidding who? They want that money. So why would they undercut their competition if they could do the same thing, do the same exact thing and charge the same price? That's the same thing they do it with the PSN. They up the price to match Xbox, and they said, oh yeah, now you need it for multiplayer. Damn, they screwed y'all. It was free. Then the PS3 was like, yay, online is free. And then they started to say, yeah, now you get to charge. Now you get to pay for online. The PS4. They were like, yay, we get to pay for it. Is that? Yay! And I'm like, I guess y'all don't. I mean, I guess the argument of, oh, it's free doesn't, yeah. And the fact that you have to pay for it and it's still not as good as the other competition in which the same price, if it's the same price and it's inferior, why? For the exclusives. But the exclusives aren't multiplayer games, so why? Oh, because a more powerful system. Not anymore, so why? Because I'm involved in the ecosystem. I bought these games. Just involve yourself in a better ecosystem, son. Anyway, console wars. Don't you love them? Anyway, I got to go because, like I said, my in-laws are in, and I can't be just neglecting them. I can't be neglecting them like that. Good. I will for the new year. I will be streaming. Almost every day. I have to see. I have to do some musics and stuff. For the new year, I have plans, and it's gonna be more of like I'm going to start doing my whole weekly music challenges for myself. First things will be I'll just make a song a week, and it might be a song for Grashers or it might be a song for artists or something like that. That's fine. I'll stream that stuff, the creation. Also, I wanted to create a track, write a song, record it, all within a week. So besides the 1 week track, one track a week, I wanted to do that as well. And if I can do that, I think I can do that. And kind of it's mainly just forcing me to work my brain basically, because I think it's getting dull. I need to sharpen it a little bit. I need to sharpen the synapses. But anyway. That's my plan. I think I got the audio squared away, kinda. So we'll figure it out as we go. And yeah, that's about it. That's all I got. I forgot to say allgames.com/live is where I never say these things. Allgames.com/live is where you need to be. That's where we be at. That's where the if you look up right there, that's what that is. Hex there, Billy. Okay. I was about to say Stranginator. That's not even a person. Shadow Next Gen. Pace. Doom Plague. I have some feedback. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but Sully's. Yeah. Tight claws in there too. Um, and I didn't even say, oh, the show's on. I didn't do that because I forgot. But that's okay. So, yeah. You go allgames.com/live, hit the Discord, and you're in the chat with the peoples, and you can talk to me, or you can go to Twitch, or you can go to Mixer. It's all good. It's all good in the hood. You can do whatever you want. I think that's it for the year. Is there anything else? I'm trying. Every time I do a show, I'm like, yeah, and then I get off and I'm like, oh man, I forgot to talk about the mounts botanical. That was okay. Trying to remember my camera. I did a little smooth Q jammy jam. That was pretty dope. What else, man? What else? I don't know what else, man. What else? That's about it. That's all I got. But appreciate New Hunter. Thanks for showing up. Appreciate. Have a good night at the hospital. All the good stuff. Remember, tomorrow is the last day of 2018. So, make it a good last day. I gotta work tomorrow. So bad. I'm like, oh man, I gotta work in the morning. Well, yeah, I have to work. It won't be bad. I'll just bust it out. And then I have a whole month. I have all of January off. I don't think you realize how happy I am. And I hurt my hand. It hurts. But that's not the point. I'll have a whole month off. So I will have time to do my streams. And also, I just need to kind of keep a certain schedule so that when I go back to work, I can just keep the same schedule. You know what I mean? So that's the kind of plan. So hopefully, not hopefully, I'm just gonna do it because if I keep putting it off, guess what? It never get done, and that's what happens. Appreciate. Oh, Devno, come on, son. I'm just about to end the stream. And Devno44 is coming in on chat. What's up, Devno? Appreciate coming out. Hold on, I gotta eat this right here. I have to eat this. You ever think there's like little critters inside of grapes, and then you chomp on them, and they're just like little grape jellyfish in there, and you're just chewing on them, and you're like, oh, it's so good, all the little squishies in my mouth, right? You ever do that? I do that. It's all good, Dev. Now I start at 7:30. I mean 7. I was a little late today though, but it's all good. I appreciate you hanging out though, or coming through. Not hanging out, coming through. But yeah, I'm out because I'm hot and turn on the AC. Blah blah blah. There's a whole story. I talked about Sony. You know how to go. But next year I'm gonna have some streamies. I'm gonna stream some music creation type of thing. So I'm gonna have the doing the beats and stuff. That was kind of dumb, but yeah, I'm gonna do that. It's gonna be dope. So make sure you tune in for that. I might start off on a Sunday, doing like half and half. So like the first hour I'll talk about whatever, and then the second hour I'll do some music stuff, so that you can get a taste. So that because you might not be around during like when I actually do the streams. But I'll try to keep it around 7. So we'll see. But thank you, Devno. Happy New Year to you and the missus. And the Mercers. Yay, Bridget says hi, I guess. I know she would say hi. But yes, same to you. And yours. But yeah. Okay, all games. Tilt to wait. Everybody on all games. Happy New Year. Derek H, I see you. Damian Mims, I see you. The blue guy. Who else? Pace, I see you. Raging, I see you. Illusion Hill, I see you. Shadow Nation, I see you. Sworn, I see you. Who's that? Did I miss somebody? Oh, Malcolm Owen, I see you. Melty Jenna, I see you. Melty Jenna. Tiger Claw, I see you. Warham, I see you. Hecht, I see you. But yeah, thanks all games. Thanks everybody. That's it. That's all I got. Tilt to wait. All games. I gotta stop it first. Bam! I stopped it. I did it. Yay! I did it. I don't have the computer on, so I can't play the music. Boom, boom. There you go. Boom, boom. Yo, everybody wanna flow, flow, flow. Let's go. Everybody wanna just tumble, wanna but don't bump. But Happy New Year, everybody. Oh man, so that's it. Okay. All right, y'all. I'm out. Till next year.